Hello everyone, we have another question on plane triangles. Okay, in my previous video I explained what is called plane triangles. It is not just one triangle, okay, that we're talking about. Okay, because we have classifications of triangle. We have classification of triangle, based on sides, based on angles. Okay, so all of this shape, they have one name, and the name is what? Triangles. Okay, so plane triangles are triangles that lie in a single plane. That is, the vertices and sides of these triangles, okay, are contained within what we call two-dimensional flat surface. So now, the question I solved in the previous video was a question that requires the application of cosine rule, and I explained that to be able to use cosine rule, remember, it must be that we must have a triangle with sides, let's say ABC. Okay, remember I said when it comes to the labeling, we use lowercase of the alphabet, to represent the sides of a triangle. Okay, while the angles, okay, we use capital letter or higher case letters, to represent the angles. Okay, so which means the corresponding angles opposite the sides, okay, according to the rule, okay, then we're now going to have the formula to be c square equals to a square plus b square negative 2ab cos c. Okay, so this is the cosine rule. But in this question, okay, to be able to solve this question on the board, okay, we're going to use what we call sine rule. If I want to write the formula for when the angle is A in this case, then this will be a square and this will be b square plus c square negative 2bc cos A. That is when we have square of side A, okay, isolated from others. Okay, now when we have the square of side B isolated from others, then this will be square of side B equals to a square plus side C square, okay, negative 2ac, okay, then cos B. So this is the cosine rule. Okay, this is the cosine rule. Okay, and to be able to apply the cosine rule, remember, when we are given three sides and no angle is given in a triangle, okay, then we can use cosine rule. But let's look at this question. Okay, now let's look at this question. In a triangle ABC, BC equals to 12 centimeters, AB equals to 4 centimeters, and angle C is an acute angle with sine C, okay, equals to 1/1/6. Okay, find in radians the two possible values of the angle A, leaving your answer in terms of pi. Okay, so the first thing is, now let's see how we can, how this will be possible. Okay, now first let's analyze the problem. Okay, so we're given a triangle. So let's say we have a triangle ABC. Okay, let's say this is A, this is B, and this is what? Angle C. Opposite angle B will be what? Lowercase letter what? B. Remember, AC is not given. Side AC is not given. Now, opposite angle C, we have lowercase letter what? C. And this is side AB. We have AB to be equals to 4 centimeters. Then opposite angle A is what? Is side BC. And that will be what? Labeled with lowercase letter A. And BC is equals to what? 12 centimeters. Is equals to 12 centimeters. Now, and angle C is an acute angle with sine C. That is this angle. We're also giving sine C, okay, equals to 1/6. 1/6. So find in radians the two possible values of the angle A, leaving your answer in terms of pi. Now, don't forget that when it comes to triangle, okay, the range or the boundary of values for the radian measures or the degree measures will be between 0 degrees and 180 degrees. And we know that 1 pi, okay, 1 pi radians 1 pi radians is equals to 180 degrees. Okay, so and because we want to find in radians the two possible values of A. Now let's see how we can find the two possible values of A. So the first thing we're going to do in this case, now we can say that okay, this angle is given because we can actually get the value of angle C from here. You know, when we take the arc sine of 1/6, then we'll get the value of C. But now yes, because this angle is given, this side is not given, and we have these two, I mean the other two remaining sides are given. Okay, so it means that we are going to use the sine rule, and the sine rule states that the sine rule, okay, states that the sine rule states that we have A sine A, lowercase letter a over what? Sine A, capital letter. Then B over what? Sine B equals to lowercase letter c sine what? Sine C. Okay, now let's check what we are given, okay, and see where we are going to start, where to start from. We have A over sine A, okay. Now we remember we want to determine the two possible values for angle what? A, okay. So which means we're going to what? We're going to equate this fraction and this fraction. So we have A over what? Sine A equals to C over what? Sine C, because we are giving sine C to be 1/6. Okay, and we're also giving the side C to be what? 4 centimeters. So, and we know that side A is what? 12 centimeters. So let's plug in the value. So we have 12 over what? Sine A equals to side C, that's 4, divided by, that's over sine C, which is what? 1/6. 1/6. Now, from here, we know that when we have reciprocal of a fraction, it will be the reciprocal of a fraction will be equals to when we flip that fraction. That is, reciprocal of 1/6 will be what? 6. That is, we flip the fraction, the numerator, you know, they will switch over. So in this case, so we are going to have 12 over sine A equals to this will be 4 times 6. Yeah, 4 times 6. So that 12, okay, over sine A is equals to 24. Okay, so we can divide. Yes, we can divide in this case by what? By 12. So dividing by 12. So this will reduce to 1 over sine A equals to 2. Okay, now in this case we have reciprocal of sine A equals to 2. So which means sine A will be equals to reciprocal of 2. That's the idea. So we have sine A from here will be equals to 1/2. Now remember, we want to determine the two possible values for angle what? A, okay, in radians. So let's find the principal value of A. Okay, the principal value of A, which is the first value, okay, the first value. So the principal value of A, the principal value of A in radians, that will be when we have A equals to arc sine or inverse sine of 1/2. Now we know that in degrees, you know, when we say sine 30 degrees, okay, sine 30 degrees will be equals to 0.5. That's 0.5. And when we have reciprocal, or when we take the arc sine of 1/2, that is 1/2, that will be 30 degrees. So this will be equals to 30 degrees. This is in degree. So in radians, okay, in radians. So we then have, this will be 30 degrees multiplied by pi over what? 180. So 30 out of 180, that will be 6. So we have, this will be what? Pi over 6 rad. Okay, so which means 30 degrees is equals to pi over what? 6 rad. Now remember I said, okay, the values, okay, of A lies between, that is the two possible values, lies between 0 and pi, or we can say the range, we can just say the range, we can set the range. The range is 0 and pi. So which means we just found the what? The first value. So the second possible value, the second possible value of angle what? A in radians, okay, in rad will be when we have pi, which is the, this is just like the greatest value, okay? So pi minus pi over what? 6. And this will be 5 pi over 6 rad. So therefore, the two possible values of angle A in rad, okay, are, so we have pi over 6 and 5 pi over what? Over 6. So this is the answer to the question. So we have pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Bye-bye.